Let's do a quick LEGO review. Hello brick fans, it's Jolyon Ralph, founder of Mindat.org. Now I've just posted my build video of the LEGO mineral set, but I didn't give you a chance to give you my comments. So here's a chance. So the first specimen is this pyrite. And this is really nicely made. Gold lacquered pieces here. And for those of you who know your LEGO, you'll recognize the Minecraft sheep heads pieces being used here, which is really cool. So all in all, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, the way that the crystals combine isn't very natural here, but it doesn't look too bad. I mean, obviously it's modeled on Spanish pyrites. I've got one in the cabinet, but I can't get it out at the moment because there's a load of stuff in the way. So you'll just have to look at this photo. Now, watermelon tourmaline. I really like this piece. Now you could argue that the crystal morphology is wrong, particularly if you look down the C-axis, you've got a fourfold symmetry, but hey, this is LEGO. You don't complain that pigs are made out of blocks in Minecraft, do you? Well, maybe you do. But this works for several reasons. But the reason this works is because inside it's got a coloured core, and then it's got this clear coating on the outside, which is very similar to how tourmalines are coloured, which is one of the nice things about tourmaline is you get this coloration that can change along the length of the crystal, but also can change as the crystal grows through the width of the crystal, which can give you these beautiful combinations, exactly as is mirrored in this piece. You've got the little white accents here. These are very much like little albite crystals associated with the tourmaline. So I think all in all, this is a really nice model. Fluorite. Now this was a surprise one. For anyone who's been following the progress of this project since it was first proposed by Dario, which was back in 2020, this one's never part of it. There were always other minerals instead. But I think this looks really nice. One of the reasons this looks nice is because of the colours. And they've chosen these new triangular pieces which are brand new to LEGO, and they've been used in this set. And LEGO fans will know that the new Pirates of the Caribbean ship uses them as well. Imagine it as part of a cube, and you've got these beveled faces here. Now that actually happens for real. This is a fluorite crystal here from Wheel Gorland in Cornwall from my collection, and you can see it's got these beveled faces. So you look at that and look at that, you get the idea. In fact, the colour on the LEGO is much nicer. The colour on this might have actually been very similar to this originally, but it would have faded over the hundreds of years since it's been collected. Cactus quartz. Now, I don't have a cactus quartz in my collection, or at least if I do, it's somewhere hidden away and I don't know where it is. So I can't show you one, but one of the nice things about this is they actually have got the morphology right. They've managed to get a hexagonal cross-section other than the cap. And I love the colouring. I love the way it goes from orange through to yellow through to clear. It's just beautiful. And it's got the two little subcrystals here. Now these are inevitably, because of the size of it, only have a square cross section. So it's not entirely crystallographically accurate, but what are you expecting? It's LEGO. Does it look great? Yes, it looks great. Now I think everybody agrees that the star of the show is the rhodochrosite. And this is probably the one that has stayed the constant since the original designs that Dario did back in 2000. Obviously, the actual implementation has changed, the scale of it, etc. But the way that it looks has remained the same. And it is stunning. And one of the things that I think is so nice about this is the colour. These translucent red pieces just perfect. They absolutely capture the colour of the original rhodochrosite, the top quality rhodochrosite from the Sweet Home mine. Just right. Now again, you might argue, hey, well, rhodochrosite is trigonal, it doesn't form crystals that are exactly cubic. And again, I will remind you, this is LEGO. The nice thing about this block, I don't know if you saw it, if you pull this top bit off, you'll see it's actually got a solid pink core here. And that just gives it a little bit of a different hue inside. It just shows you, when you look at it closely, you can see just a slight difference in color variation between them, as you would get with a normal crystal as the crystal grows. Really nice feature there. So how does this compare to a real rhodochrosite. Well, here's my real rhodochrosite. As you can see, it is not one of the best ones from the mine. This is from the Sweet Home mine. It's still a nice piece, but it's very different to that. There's no way I could afford one which was this colour. Oh, and if you're curious, how does this compare to the fake ones that have been going around? Here's their rhodochrosite. First of all, the build is very simple. It's got a lot more red in it, for sure, amateur, compared to this version. And also the colour. These ones just absolutely glow. These ones look faded. They're just not the same. So cheap, not too bad, but they just do not come close to the quality of the genuine Lego item. Finally, the amethyst geode. I quite like this. It's got the nice tall shape. Obviously this is designed to be a cathedral style. Now the cathedral styles, you normally would see them quite a bit bigger than this, but this is obviously designed to mimic that one. Again, the original design that Dario did for this, for the successful ideas application, had one which was slightly different arrangement, but I think changing it to this was probably not a bad idea, not least because it actually does look really nice inside, and you've got like the clearer crystals around the edge, which you get because what happens when you slice through these, you often find that the crystals are zoned so that you have this deep purple part of the crystal along the surface of the crystal, just going in like a millimeter or so, and then underneath the crystals are much paler. So you do get this effect when you've cut through a genuine amethyst geode, that the edge crystals do look clear and the deeper colour is reserved for the ones behind there. So they've got spot on there with the way that they've arranged this. How does this one compare to the fake? Well, I think this one absolutely wins again. The smaller one here, it's just like there's this flat smooth area in. I don't understand why they've done that, and it's just totally random. It's like they've just thrown some purple pieces in here. They've tried to mimic the same effect with the clear on either side, but doesn't really work. I would say again, this one, spot on. This one, there. So is it worth getting? Yes, absolutely yes. And I want to thank Dario very much for sending me a set. So if you're considering buying it, I would certainly strongly suggest you do. And thank you for listening. And as always, follow me. You might learn something.